All right, boys, we're back. Let's go. We're just gonna hop right into this battle. I'm just hitting my arm. It's a mess to start the video off. Here we go. Okay, so me versus Ty to start the week off. I led Aggron in Darmanitan. I figured I could scout what his item was by staying in Flare Blitz. Did 71%. So I was like, okay, he's not choice banded. That means Slowking is always going to be a good answer here. Looking at his team, Aggron's nice for Mimikyu, but it doesn't really beat a whole lot. I mean, it's decent against Espeon as well. I probably could have been more conservative and just went into Slowking on the first turn anyways. You see it only did 36, but if he was choice banded, that would have knocked it out, and I thought Slowking was a little more valuable to my team at this point. So here, you can eat up the U-turn. I realize he's not choiced. I set up my Trick Room. But yeah, so I built this team in 30 minutes. I was like, you know what? I'm going full Trick Room. I got a Life Orb Lele. I got Trick Room Slowking and Xatu. Super Slow Aggron. Offensive Mold Breaker Druddigon. And then a Room Service Darmanitan, which I didn't really get to use, but it's all good. I really didn't see the Hypnosis coming from Melodic. Honestly, I think that won Tyler the game because my Lele got too low for me to be able to deal with Melodic later on. That was just a really good set on his end. I will talk about later in the game. I did still have an opportunity to win. Oh yeah, and with Sleep, we're going to try to not put more than one Pokemon to sleep at one time. There's no sleep clause in Anything Goes. But just kind of something that you should just be aware of, like a gentleman's agreement. But in this case, it didn't really matter, because honestly, looking at his Melodic and you look at my team, my only way to beat him was to PP stall him at this point. So if Slowking was asleep, that would have been even better, honestly, because I wouldn't have been using PP on Slowking, and he would have to click a move while he's in there. So at this point, I am just getting as much chip off as I can. I see I only did 49% right there. And he puts me right back to sleep. Really unfortunate. If I didn't get all three sleep turns with Lele, I would have been in a really good spot because I could have got Trick Room up, and as you'll see, Druddigon put in a lot of work this game, but if I had Lele healthy in Trick Room, I mean, this game would have been over. But yeah, really good call on his part, bringing the Hypnosis this week. Yeah, so at this point, I am just bouncing in between Xatu and Slowking. I don't really have another play because I have a weak Lele and I have physical attackers, and they're not going to be able to break through a +5 Melodic at this point. I don't think we get our first kill until turn 29, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just teleporting, getting my regenerator back, and I can just do this indefinitely. I'm running Kasib Berry on Slowking and Xatu, because I felt Ghost DMZ was pretty good against me. And Mimikyu obviously was a little bit of a problem for my team, especially if, its Disguise is still up. Yeah, I'm able to get a Life Orb Dragon Claw off with Druddigon. Able to just pound Melodic with a Thunder Punch right there. That's through Marvel Scale, which is crazy. But he's able to stall out the Trick Room by pivoting around here. So this is my first misplay, I would say. Ty talked to me after the game. He said, sometimes you just got to play Pano like you're playing as Berg, where you're just unpredictable. So I thought he was going to switch out. It seemed really obvious. I would just kill his Gliscor. And if you look at my team, Gliscor is super strong against me, right? Yeah, it's just really, really good. I didn't think he was going to risk it. And then at this point, I forgot that I was still an Ice type, and I just went for the Flare Blitz. There was no reason I should have done that. I should have just went for the Ice move. I just kind of I lost a step by him just not switching out on that first turn, which was crazy. But yeah, thankfully at 54%, I'm able to kill it with Scald from Slowking because he got a little greedy going for the Sword Stance. I think if he just attacked me, he had a roll to kill, and then he probably would have just won the game from there, honestly. But he was really running low on time, so he didn't have time to calc that. I have to sack Lele here. Might not have been a sack, you know, if he went for a fake out, maybe play around it or something, but Xatu, good answer for low punny still. And, you know, I can't really do a ton. Let's see here. Teleport out. Let Dredagon get 2 turns of Trick Room here. But as you can see, Tyler has 4 Pokemon. There is 1 win con left for me. I am able to get the kill with Dredagon here. That was huge. That actually put me in a position to win. Play rough, really good tech on Tyler's part. I didn't really have a good switch in either way though, because both these guys would have got 2-hit KO'd. And return here is doing 46%, which with a combination of burn is too much for me. So I have 1 play here, and that is for me to get out, go to Xatu, and I need a Trick Room this turn. And I choked and went for the Air Slash and it didn't kill. So in this position, if I go for Trick Room, I get to Air Slash on the next turn anyway, and then I either, like, since I'm going first, I also have a chance to flinch, and that means I have Xatu and Slowking again against his Melodic, which I will, you know, PP stall until he loses. Or he lives on 26%, like in this case, but Trick Room is up, so when I go to Slowking on the next turn, I'm able to kill him or force him to switch out, and then I can slack off and get to a position where I'm able to kill Lopunny in the future and then try to stall out Melodic still from there. So pretty big misplay on my part on that one. Yeah, with him only having 9 recovers left, I probably win if I go for the Trick Room there, which is a little unfortunate, but yeah, overall really good game tie. That was pretty much it. Let's see here. Yeah, knocks me out, 2-0 win. All right, next one, E vs MJC. I was like halfway watching this while I was going, but this is my first time watching these since they were played live. Primarina just doing a ton of damage to Zapdos there. Play rough tech from Zeraora. Possibly predicting like the Swampert switch or something. Knocks itself out to Life Orb. Pretty fair trade going Gardevoir for Zeraora. Gardevoir was pretty good with, you know, Chestnut being alive and everything, but, you know, getting Zera is gone is about as good as it gets. Spiky Shield, I think on the... No, he roosted. Yeah, good play. Looking at win cons here, you know, if Chestnut gets low, Dracovish looks like it's just going to have a field day. Yeah, Primarina, it doesn't have the best physical defense, but it is a really good wall still because it has a high HP stat, especially since you always invest in that. MJC going for the little Perish Trap action. Very common Politoed set. Let's see. Pretty sure... Okay, yeah, he switched out a turn early. Kind of funny sunny day there, since Licky Licky's Cloud 9 prevents the sun from even going up, but when it switches out, the sun will be up, which is kind of cool. Then he actually stayed in with Licky Licky, which I thought was a little confusing given it was going to die the next turn. Now, it's risky, right? Actually, no, now that I think about it, Chestnut's a decent switch-in, because he's probably going for the electric move. However, if he goes for the Hurricane, when you switch out, the sun comes back up, and that means Hurricane is 50% accurate. Now, that's not a great combination, but like between Thunder accuracy... Oh, Thunder is also going to be 50% accurate with the sun up, so... you know, you go to Chestnut, you actually have a pretty good chance of just missing any move, and there's also a chance he goes for the electric instead of the flying. Probably how I would have played that in that situation, given Licky Licky still, like, looks pretty decent against his team. Polytoad sack, Chestnut healthy, really good answer to Kabutops still. The defense drop is a little annoying, but you see it only did 24% there, and he has the Rocky Helmet, and he has Spiky Shield. So he's able to stall out some rain turns here, do a ton of damage onto Kabutops. Get a little health back with Leech Seed as well. But now Chestnut's weaker, so this definitely opens up Dracovish big time. Big Thunder Mist right there, making Zapdos go down. Zapdos' job at this point was to get rid of Primarina anyway, and it was low enough that it was going to die to a Liquidation, so really not that big of a deal there. Just getting some chip with Kabutops. Dazzling Gleam in case he went into Dracovish. Also, that move on like MJC's part going into Swampert, really smart call. It feels like he wouldn't have gone for the Dazzling Gleam if he wasn't choice locked, specifically Scarfed. So going into Dracovish probably wouldn't be the best play in that case. Chestnut just being a bulky boy, but it still dies to 2 Earthquakes at this point. E is running super low on the timer. And then Dracovish comes in and starts doing Dracovish things. So let me pull up the team paste real quick for E. He was choice spec'd Gengar, yeah. So in that situation, there's probably nothing else I would have done. You know, that's a tough position. If he was Scarfed, you know, you go for the Energy Ball on Swampert, switch out, sack Absol, come back in, try to Dazzling Gleam and get the kill. I don't know if it kills at 84%. Gengar's pretty strong, but yeah, that was really well played. Real close 1-0 game right there. Yeah, that was really good. Let's reset Joe and Berg. Showdown music is so loud. Joe starts off really strong here. Get them burn off on Rhyperior. Not the end of the world for Berg. Like, Rhyperior's still a good answer for some stuff, so. Yeah, Weezing, logical switch into Go-Goat. Really good double on Joe's part. I don't know if I would have stayed in with Aerodactyl at this point. But then he gets the massive crit with Stone Edge, so Weezing's pretty useless. I was talking to Berg about his team. He has a Dragon Dance Charizard, and the idea was that Mew could come in and steal that Dragon Dance and kill Charizard, but as long as Weezing was alive, it wouldn't be able to lock itself into a Dragon move, right? We'll see later on in the game how that ended up getting a little hairy. Pretty aggressive switch to Rhyperior. You know, given Volcanions in front of him, it does make sense that he wouldn't go for the Steam Eruption. But you see that he has Earth Power. He's probably scared of it anyway. I don't know. I guess Burnt Rhyperior is not the worst switching, because even if he does go for something that kills you, you know, you're burnt, whatever. Go-Go comes in. Now, Scissor should be the switch-in at this point for this. Go-Go can't really touch Scissor. And Weezing is pretty essential to the Dragon Dance strat. So Berg starts setting up with it here. And he doesn't have a fantastic answer for what to do. The Defog, I think it was kind of inconsequential at that point. I don't know how much, you know, Rotom actually could have done to Charizard anyway, but, you know, Joe's team wasn't really weak to rocks at that point. Full health Volcanion, yeah, good switch in there. You know, Dragapult obviously is not the answer. And this is where the game kind of went off the rails. The Mew is... wait for it. We're gonna skip it. These next turns go for a while. Joe just starts getting some Calm Minds up. Yeah, and at this point, Mew is just like completely terrifying. 3 times special attack, 2.5 times special defense. Nothing on Berg's team can really live a hit. So he makes the one play that that Dragapult is so OP this game. He gets the crit, goes in, sack scissor. You know, Bullet Punch is definitely the play right there. But that's alright. Goes into Dragapult and gets another crit with Shadow Ball. It's a little too late. But yeah, pretty funny that he was able to take out the Mew with 2 crits. Joe played this really, really well. And then Berg actually won the speed tie there, because he was also Choice Scarfed, but he does not get the 3rd crit with Draco Meteor. I feel like a crit Draco Meteor kills Go-Goat, which would have been crazy, given he probably wouldn't kill Flygon with the next one, but he's just going for it. You gotta send it. And Go-Goat just horn leashes to the win right there. Alright. Moving on to the last game. Tommy versus Dodge. Alright. Deoxys speed lead, nice and standard against the Super. Dodge starts setting up the hazards. Let's see. Trying to remember how this game went. Yeah, at this point, like, Dodge can just do what he wants to get hazards up. Deoxys doesn't really do a ton against Tommy's team, so... One spike, not the best, but not, you know, wasn't for nothing. Rocky Helmet Miltank. So at this point, I would have looked at the calc on the Poison Jab doing 26. I feel like Earthquake would have done enough. And then Dodge got a little greedy going for the Belly Drum here, and then gets completely rewarded with the Paralyze. However, Aqua Jet does not kill. So the Azumarill goes down to 9%, able to knock him out with the next one. I don't know how much speed Dodge was running in Azu. I feel like Aqua Jet was unnecessary because Cresselia normally doesn't run any speed, but I don't know how his EVs were. You could just go for the liquidation or the knockoff or something in that case. Indeedee comes in, cleans up Cresselia. Cresselia was still actually pretty useful for the dog and Garchomp. But yeah, Tommy makes a double here. He goes into Zygarde, scares out Indeedee. Persian comes in, knocks off the Rocky Helmet. Miltank is really solid here. It's so bulky, really physically defensive. Yeah, it's really not going to be taking a whole lot from Persian. He gets 2 Gunk Shot hits in a row. Pretty solid stuff there. I think at this point, it's tough having a fairy type still up, right? You can't go for your dragon moves. Yeah, Dodge really likes running Brick Break. And that's doing just enough that it's going to be able to outstall the Milk Drinks. Another Brick Break on the Coco. But now looking... Coco with Dazzling Gleam versus the rest of his team looks extremely scary. So I don't know if this was a calc and Dodge knew he would live. On Tommy's end, I'd probably just go Miltank in that case. Just because of the confidence that Dodge came out with that Garchomp, like he was going to live, keep Coco around, but really at this point it doesn't matter too much because he's able to Dragon Dance with Zygarde, and this thing is able to eat a Dazzling Gleam. And Psychic Terrain is up, so he can just go for the Outrage and not have to worry about extreme speed from the other Zygarde. And yeah, that's game. Tommy's been playing out of his mind this season. It's just been absolute masterclass. But yeah, that's pretty much it. that is all for the breakdown this week. Get your transactions in. If you have any changes you want to make to your team, you have to use it before you play this week, or else we are locked. I want to have one week of regular season with your locked playoff roster before we go to playoffs. And then, yeah, we'll talk about playoffs in next week's breakdown as we get ready for week 7. There was a little bit of a chat last season about maybe doing open sheets and setting rosters. So I'll kind of probe the Discord about that, see how we feel, if that's something we want to consider. Maybe each game you go with an open sheet. Maybe for the whole playoffs you have to designate 6 Pokemon. And with that, it gets a little hairy because we'd probably have to designate their moves as well. So you wouldn't necessarily be counter-teaming each week. You'd be able to change items and EV spreads. I feel like if we were to designate 6 Pokemon for the whole playoffs and you had the variability of move slots, it would get really offensive and there wouldn't be a whole lot of defensive counterplay at that point. So yeah, I don't know. I'll ask you guys about that. I'm also cool with just doing how we played each week. You just go in blind, prepping for the team like we always have. But yeah. Thanks for playing all your games on time this week, and I will catch you guys in the Discord.